Hello, my name is Charles with Quotations for the Week. I have here my friend here, Beth Ginley. She's here. That's not. Sorry.
My brother's name is Ben, so I was like, that's
Beth.
interesting.
Welcome, this is Charles with Quotations for the Week. Quotations for the Week. I have my friend here, Beth Ginley. She's here to share her story, her life, her experience, and also her book. Beth, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Charles. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, nice to have you here. So tell us about your experience. Tell us about your life and where you're from and all that good stuff.
Well,
and also about the book, too. We want to hear
okay.
about the book for
All
sure.
right. I'm pleased to tell you all of that. I grew up on the East Coast and went to school on the East Coast. And eventually, after actually a couple other careers, I became a nurse midwife, which I did for a couple decades. I adored being a nurse midwife. It was my identity. It felt like more of a vocation than work. And it wore me out. It totally exhausted and fried me. And what I've learned long since is that I did not have the skills to handle such a demanding profession in terms of protecting my own resilience. And so that's why I wrote the book, because I think a lot of us are in that boat that we maybe love working, we love what we do, and we burn ourselves out because we don't have the skills to protect our own energy and ability to come back and keep doing it. So that's my story in a nutshell. I wrote it with Dr. Marnie Loomis, who is a naturopathic physician who also went through her own burnout because healthcare often burns people out. And she was the one who had discovered that there's a lot of medical and sociological research on burnout. And I'm all about the science and the research. I'm really all about it. I want to know what's been proven. Right. And she said, well, lots have been proven. We know a lot about what causes burnout and what keeps people from getting burnout. I was like, show me the research. And so that's what we built the book on.
And so you've helped out a lot of people in this process to get out of burnout. Tell us about that, if you can.
Well, everything from children in high school, which surprised me that the kids were so interested in this topic, shocked actually, but they were very interested, to teachers. I work a lot with teachers, to people at big corporations. It's pretty universal, the experience of burnout. Founder burnout for entrepreneurs, healthcare burnout, social work burnout, and technical burnout. It happens all the time, unfortunately.
So what would you say, give us some insights on how to overcome it, without telling us too much from the book here. What are some strategies to kind of get out of burnout? Some general strategies. The very first thing, Charles, is that you need to value your own self. Most of us have the very admirable work ethic that they need to give all to their work, to their clients, to their constituents, whoever they're serving and taking care of, and they have an ethic for service which is absolutely admirable and a really good thing. And we need to have an ethic of taking care of ourselves, of valuing ourselves and our service enough to prioritize that as well. And then the kind of flip side of that is realizing that we can't fix everything, that there is more need out there in whatever field we're working in than there is of us. And so we do what we can and have confidence that the ripples go well beyond what we can see. So that would be my first suggestion, is to just allow yourself to be as important as your clients are to the ongoing work. Allow your resilience, the ability to bounce back, to be as important. And then the other thing that we do when we prioritize work that much, in that way of saying it's the most important thing, is that we drop things that seem less important over the side. Things like getting together with friends, or getting enough sleep, or having lunch, or just kind of whatever floats your boat, whatever keeps you resilient, seems less important because you do have a lot of energy for the work. And so you're just like, well, that can wait. And some of that is absolutely foundational to keeping us afloat, and we need to bring it back in. I see. So self-preservation.
Yes, self-preservation and So the quote that I brought for you is that resilience is how we recharge, not how we endure. And that comes from Shawn Achor, who wrote a book called The Happiness Effect, which was absolutely my first shift toward prioritizing my own self and my own resilience, because I didn't realize that happiness was something that I was responsible for generating. And so learning to bounce back, learning to be able to bounce back, to be resourced enough to bounce back, turns out to be a whole lot more about how you recharge and not how tough you are. So I like to rephrase that. You know how they say when the going gets tough,
tough gets going.
The tough get going, right? That is true. And when the going gets tough, the tough recharge. We have to.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Beth, for coming to the show. We appreciate you sharing your ideas and helping others get out of burnout. Thank you again.
Thank you, Charles. It's been fun.
Awesome. So that's Quotations for the week. We thank again, Beth. Have an awesome week.
Please help me spread positivity around the world. Please like, subscribe, and love Quotations for